Welcome to another video session. In this video, we will be discussing about one of the image compression technique, that is the Huffman coding. What we will be looking into this, we will be looking into some of the application of Huffman coding, the features of Huffman coding, the Huffman coding scheme, how it is done, and an example of Huffman coding, and what are the drawbacks in Huffman coding. So the simplest application of Huffman coding is in the any of the zip files. So all zip files use the Huffman encoding as a basis function. So therefore, that is the simplest application of Huffman coding. What are the features of the Huffman coding? It uses frequencies or probability of symbol in a string to build a variable prefix code, and each symbol is mapped to a binary string. The symbols that are more frequent will have shorter codes, and no prefix will be a no code will be a prefix to another. So this means that you can uniquely decode the symbols, and this is an optimum coding technique. Now let us look at the scheme. Consider an information source that has symbols S1, S2, etc. up to Sm with different probabilities. Each S1 will have a probability. So let us assume that we will arrange the probabilities such that, or the probabilities of the symbols are, the probability of S1 is greater than or equal to the probability of S2, and so on. So the probability of Sm is the least. That means the symbol Sm appears least and symbol S1 appear most in the given in the sequence. Say for example, if you take English language, the letter Q, whenever the letter Q appears, so the probability of the next letter being a U is definite. So most of the words start with Q, U. So therefore, U will definitely come. The next one, the third letter can be maybe O or I or anything based on the word it is. So therefore, there are some possibilities or the probabilities which are definite. So we know that for definite it is 1. For the probability of the symbol that will occur definitely will be 1. The probability of the symbol that will never occur will be 0, or an event that will never occur is 0. So that is just an example I have given here for the English alphabet. So in that way, we can arrange the probabilities of the symbols. So we know that when you use probability, the symbol values will be between 0 and 1. 1, as I said, if it is a definite occurring event, and 0 when the event can never occur. Next, we seek the optimum code for the code words. Therefore, the length of the code words should be in the reverse manner. That means the symbol that is having least probability, or it appears least amount of time, will have the largest code word. The length of the code word will be more or the largest for the non-frequent ones, than compared to the frequent or the most frequent one. So the most frequent one will be having the shortest code word, and the symbol that that rarely occurs will have the longest code word. So that is the feature of this Huffman coding, or the rule for this. Now let us look at the scheme. As we're looking into, so here we have two uh, sources will have equal length of code words if they are, I mean, the two least probable source symbols. So here we see that LM is the least, the next or little higher than that is LM minus 1. So they both will have the same code length, code word length, and it will just be differing by a 0 and 1. If one is a 0, the other one will be a 1 for the last bit. Other than that, the length will be the same. We will see that in the example. So these can be combined to form new source symbols. So this is the Huffman coding scheme. So its occurrence probability is PSM plus PSM minus 1. And then we go on prefixing this, and we try to compute the coding scheme. Here, the first source alphabet that we generated, the source symbols, we call that as a first auxiliary source alphabet. And we again repeat the process for until we end with the complete code. Now, let us take an example and see how this Huffman coding is done. The first feature is that the probability should be arranged in the decreasing order. So that means the symbol that is occurring most. So here A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 are the different symbols, but A2 is appearing most, so it has a probability of 0.4, and A5 is the least occurring, so therefore it is having a probability of 0.04. So first step is that we have to arrange the probabilities of the symbols, the symbols and probabilities in their decreasing order. The next step is we have to start with the least probability and keep adding up and then move further. So what we do in the next step is we've added these two. So we've got 0.1, and then all the others are written as it is. In the next step, we add up, or any time we are going to add only 2. This is what we have to remember because we are doing a binary coding. So therefore, we will be adding only 2. So these two are added, and if the sum probability is 0.2, which is more than this 0.1, so therefore the sum of these two is 0.2, so it goes above this 0.1. So this 0.1 will come here, and the sum probability of these two is 0.2, which goes here. Next, we have to, in the next stage, we have to add these two, which will result in 0.3, and so that 0.3 can be placed above or below, but here we have placed it here, here itself. So next, we have to add up these two, and we have to end up with only 2 probabilities. So the 0.3 plus 0.3, we get 0.6. So we place it above, and this is the this 0.4 is having smaller, I mean is lesser compared to this sum probability, so it will come down. So at every point, at every time we are arranging these sum probabilities, and rearranging, we should take it, we should ensure that we are arranging in the uh, decreasing order. So now we have arranged the probabilities and we have computed these sum probabilities, and we have ended up at this stage with only two probability values. Now what we do is we start assigning values, that is only 0 and 1. So whichever is the highest will get a 0 and the lowest will get 1. So this is what we have done here. In the next step, we trace back uh, by appending codes further and further. So this 4 has got a code 1, so it is traced back here, and we got this 0.6 as a sum probability. So therefore, the probability of sums of these zero point 0.3 and zero point 0.3. So this 0 is the code for 0.6. So we take the 0 and append with 0 for the above and 1 for the below, just like here. So we'll append 0 and 1. So this is the new code levels for this. Next, this 3 is kept as it is, and this 4 continues. So therefore, uh, the code for 4 is the same, and the code for this 3 is the same. This 3 was a sum probability of these sums. So therefore, we append 0 and 1 as in the previous steps here. So for the complete code 0 1, in the previous case, from the previous stage, we add a 0 and 1. So this will be the code for these two symbols. Next, we trace back again, and this composite sum, whatever we've got. So again, we have got the code here as 0 1 0 for this sum probabilities and 0 1 1 for this 0.1. So this 0.1 will go here and its code is written beside it, and this 0.2 is nothing but 0.1 and 0.1 we got. And so the code of 0.2 is 0 1 0. So to that code 0 1 0, we append a 0 to the above code and 1 to the below code. Next, we know that initially we had started from here. So therefore, this 0.1 we got by adding these two. So therefore, the code for 0.1 is 0 1 0 1. To that, we have to add a 0 for the top code and 1 for the bottom code. So therefore, we have finally ended up with the code like this. Now you see that the codes are of varying length, and no code word is a prefix for another code. So you don't find a 00 anywhere here. So that is what is no code word. This is a complete code word. 00 is a code word for the symbol A6. So A6 has a code word 00 and A2 has a symbol 1. So we can identify the features from this code. So whichever is appearing highest, or the symbol that appears often or frequently, it has the least code length, and whichever symbol appears the least will have the largest code length. And as I said, the last and last but one will have same size but will differ by a 0 and 1. So this is what we have seen. And no code word 1 you don't find as a prefix for any code. 00 you will not find as a prefix for any of this code. 011 you will not find anywhere here. So these are 010, 010, 010. So you will not find this as a prefix for anything. Similarly, these are the 5 bits code. You will not find 0100 in this code. So therefore, we say that the complete code is not a prefix for any code. So all those properties are features are met or identified from this codes. So this is how Huffman coding is done. So we have taken an example and done the Huffman coding. What are the drawbacks? For large number of symbols, construction of optimal Huffman code is difficult. Then Huffman is a block code. So that is, some code word having an integral number of bits is assigned to a source symbol. The message may be encoded by cascading the relevant code words and computationally not efficient for a message with all possible symbols. So those are the drawbacks. Now this is the discussion we had done on image compression. So we had looked into one application and what are the features of Huffman coding, how Huffman what is the Huffman coding scheme. We had looked into one example on Huffman coding and few drawbacks. We come to the end of this session. Thank you.